Welcome back. We call them the terrible twos, but are they so terrible? Let's break it down. This debate, we have our psychologist, Dr. Lawrence Balter, here with some moms in the know, Denise Albert, Melissa Gerstein, and Raina Seitel-Gitlin, co-hosts of Moms in the City and bloggers from momsinthecity.net and babycenter.com. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, I have an 8-year-old daughter, so I'll just get right to it. I believe in terrible twos big time. How about you guys?
Well, for me, it was I'll be nice and call it the freaking fours. The twos, we sailed right through, and we're still there,
really?
and it's going very smoothly. But the fours, not so easy.
Yeah, I have a 3.5-year-old, and this is my most challenging time. I have to say, I was like, woo, smooth sailing. This is no problem. But once, all of a sudden we hit 3.5, and it's like a big challenge. But what I found it too was that if I gave options, it made a big difference. You can either do this or this, and so empowering them, I thought, made a difference.
Melissa?
I have 3 kids, and the first 2 I had no problems. They're 9 and 5, and now my daughter's about to turn 2. Oh my goodness. Let me first start by saying I think it's the independent twos. I don't think they're terrible. I think they're learning that they now have this freedom.
Right.
I think as a parent, there's no negotiation. You're getting in the stroller, and we're going to go. These parents that waver
It's a
and
battle of
I
wills.
disagree with that, actually.
I agree with that.
well, you know what? I don't even have
But
time
that's the
to
problem with the
entertain it.
fours, is that you actually think you're talking to a grown-up. So you think that you can reason, and then you have to remember that you're still talking to a 4-year-old.
What's going on emotionally with these kids?
Well, with the twos, it's called terrible twos because they say no. They've also developed a language, and they say me and mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those things really aggravate everybody. The idea is to understand where it's coming from, then you'll be able to do something about it, and you won't feel so challenged by them. So one of the things that, like you said, they're becoming much more autonomous. They're learning how to use the toilet. They're learning how to use language better. When they say me and mine, that's really a clue to what's going on. What's going on is they're developing a sense of self. So I'm me, you're you, and if I say no, there's no confusion. Now I'm me. No, but the important thing is we can rebrand it and call it the terrific twos because they're learning so much.
Right.
But if you get behind it and understand that it's a self that's developing, then you're less likely to be, aggravated by their saying no. And I think what you said is great, that you don't offer options. You don't say, do you want to take a bath? Because then they'll say no.
Right, exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the encouraging things is, I think it goes angel, devil, back to angel right away at 3. They turn into wonderful. So it's just it's a hump. And then then you have to wait till they're a teenager. I haven't gotten there yet. What about you guys?
Well, I have a 9-year-old, and so I think the more verbal they get, they start to make even more sense, even though you're the parent. It's like, wait a minute, that kind of does make sense. I think, though, with my youngest, she sees her older brother and older sister, and she wants to emulate them. Now, you can't jump off the couch, you can't go on the plate. So you have to protect them because it's dangerous still. But I think that's why the other 2 were a little easier, and
at that point, you're so burnt from being a parent, you're okay, whatever.
I find the twos to be the easiest, actually.
Well,
2.5 and 6, and 4 was difficult. 5 and 6 are not so breezy.
But a lot of people do find that it's difficult to deal with a 2-year-old who says no. You say, sweetheart, darling, let's have some strawberry ice cream. They say, no. But you say, but you always love that. So instead, I would suggest, like you said, don't offer options. The other is, if you're going to have a bath, it's bath time. Instead of saying, do you want to take a bath? And they say no. Just say, this afternoon we saw a squirrel in the park, and you're having a little conversation. But while you're having the conversation, you're walking into the bathroom, you're taking off the clothes.
That's
right. You got it.
Much easier at 2. It's hard to distract a 5, 6-year-old.
We can talk about this all day, but they're giving me the rap. Okay. Yes or no, bribery? Yes or no?
I
wasn't a fan of it.
I call it
incentive,
incentive, not bribery.
That's another day's conversation. What a pleasure.